Today we're going to be talking about navigating the darkness. We know that life isn't all a bed of roses, that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, that in order to even have a rainbow, we need a rain cloud. So in order for us to experience the light and the love in life, we also have to experience the dark and the sad times. Also within ourselves, within our psyche, we have a light and a dark side. Light meaning seen, dark meaning unseen. And what we're being called to do in this life, in this journey, in this experience is to see and be with all of it. To see our own darkness. Darkness not meaning bad, just meaning unseen. And also to experience the darkness of life, the winter, the nighttime. We have it all. The universe couldn't exist without day and night, without summer and winter. We need the polarity of light and dark to even be breathing here today, but also to experience a full, whole version of reality, our own version of wholeness, our own wholeness. We need both. We need to balance both. And sometimes life can be really bright and really happy, and we can get attached to this, attached to the highs of life. And in some ways kind of delude ourselves that life should be happy all the time. And then we can also get stuck in the darkness, experiencing the darkness, believing that life is just dark, it's hard, it's a struggle. We need to bring the balance together to live a whole life. We have to be able to hold all of it to live this whole and fulfilled life that our soul is calling for. It's the same within us. So we have a light and a dark side. We can, if we don't believe that we have light within us, we'll project that out. So it's unseen, it's part of the shadow. And the same with the darkness. There's parts of our psyche that don't want us to see our own darkness, so we project it onto other people. So then it becomes this shadow, this unseen part, this dark part. We can shine light on all of the darkness. We can allow the light to shine through all of the darkness. And this is navigating the darkness with our own light. It's a really profound, sacred experience, but one that so many people, especially on a spiritual journey, resist, because we're in our mind tells us that dark equals pain, dark equals suffering. And so we try to avoid it because the ego wants to avoid pain and go towards pleasure. So it only wants to see the things that are going to make it feel good. And good means comfortable, not like always good. Some people attract negative experiences because that's comfortable to them, but that keeps them safe. So there's a whole lot of stuff that we're being asked to balance on this journey, but hopefully today I can give you some tips on navigating your darkness, navigating the darkness of life, as almost like a rite of passage. So in order for you to become whole, to transcend the power that the ego has over your life and experience the full bountiful beauty of life, it's like a rite of passage to do your shadow work. You have to make the unconscious conscious. And in order to really fully experience the true unconditional love that the universe is offering you, that the universe is, that you are, you have to experience the darkness. You have to be there for the darkness. It's a rite of passage. So that's what we're going to be going into. Maybe have your journal to hand in case something comes up throughout this that you want to write down. And let's get to it. Your personal darkness just means unseen. Yes, we all have positive traits and negative traits. there is a light side and a dark side to every personality trait, to every emotion. Using anger as an example, most people are taught to believe that anger is bad. So we push anger out to the shadow. We don't want to feel like we are angry people. So we push it out there. We don't allow ourselves to feel it. But anger, repressed anger then will turn into illness in the body, a sort of depression, a darker, a less open way of looking at life, because we see it through this clouded vision of repressed anger. But when we're able to see the anger for what it is and express it fully, we open up space and shine light on that anger. Now, the negative side of anger, the kind of darker side of anger, is depression, fear, being closed, rage. When it bubbles up too much, you hold it in too much and it explodes. That can be seen as dangerous. That can potentially hurt you and somebody else. The light side of anger is knowing that, being in touch with yourself and knowing that your boundaries have been crossed. You need to say no somewhere. You need to stand up for yourself somewhere. You need to address something within yourself or within a relationship with somebody else. You need to take action on something. So this anger actually then becomes like a passion. It becomes a creative energy that you can use in your life to help you experience something differently. So anger is good and bad. Anger protects us, but it also can harm us if it's not addressed properly. So that's an example of something that we might push into the shadow so that it becomes unseen, because we're too afraid. The ego part of our mind is too afraid to look at it because of what it might mean about us if we're perceived as angry. So within the shadow, you have repressed personality traits, repressed emotion, unconscious beliefs, patterns, behaviors that will really govern your life until you shine this light on them and make them conscious. So then when you're making the unconscious conscious, you're able to be more aware of how you act, and you're shining more light on your psyche. So you become aware of how you act, the decisions you make. That creative energy is there to help you consciously create your life, rather than being controlled by the darkness within you. And so then throughout your life, you're also going to experience darkness, especially when you're going through shadow work. You're going to experience challenges, loss, depression, change, things that are going to shake you. And you can either choose to be the victim and get caught in the darkness, and the ego doesn't want to face the darkness oftentimes because it's afraid it's going to stay there. This has been my experience when I first started going through shadow work, going through a lot, like facing a lot of my own repressed anger, a lot of my own repressed emotions. I was terrified that I was going to get stuck in the depression. I was going to get stuck in the anger, and that was going to become who I was. It doesn't. When you shine light on it, it transforms. So when I was fully able to be in my darkness, be in the darkness of life, no matter how painful it was, eventually it did transform. So as you're going through shadow work, as you're going through life, whether you're aware of it or not, you're going to experience darkness and like I mentioned before, these are almost rites of passage to your next level of love and beauty. If you come at it from a conscious perspective, a lot of people choose to be the victim and stay in the darkness, and that life is bad, and this is happening to me, and I have no control over this, and life is just really bad at the minute. Okay, life might be difficult at the moment, but how about we come at it with love and compassion? When you're experiencing darkness in life, my biggest piece of advice to you is to be there for it, be there for yourself with the love and compassion and empathy that you would give a small child, the younger version of you going through something similar, because the darkness that you're experiencing will be related to something happening internally within you. So there is an aspect of your child self, your inner child, that is going through this darkness and needs your love and compassion. And with this love and compassion, the darkness may take a day, it may take a year. Mine took a few years, but in different, like, I did have breaks. And I'm not naive enough to think that it will never happen again. But however long it takes, with the love, the compassion, your presence, it will transmute into light. Embracing your shadow, embracing your emotions, the darkness in life is an essential part of you integrating all aspects of yourself. You must do it if you want to experience the wholeness, the fulfillment, the full experience of this human journey, which is why your soul is here. Your soul is here to experience everything so that it can learn and evolve. This is when shadow work comes into your awareness, when the darkness, a dark night of the soul comes into your life, it is there, like I mentioned, a rite of passage to help you evolve into your next level, into your next moment of life. And as you keep evolving, you step closer and closer to your wholeness. You allow yourself to be more whole and experience life with more as your true self, the true nature of reality, the beauty, the love, the abundance. You get closer and closer to that, the more that you can hold the light and the dark. And on this journey, throughout your rite of passage, you really must lead with curiosity. Be curious for every emotion, curious for every fear, belief, curious for every experience and challenge, because with that curiosity, you open up your perspective to something new, to a new insight, to a new answer. If you're just closed to it, resisting it, you're not going to receive the aha moment that's going to help you change and transmute. And like I say, you must lead with compassion and you must have patience, because it can take an emotion to if an emotion is fully felt in the body, it takes 90 seconds to pass through and transmute. However, we often avoid the emotions, so it can take 24 hours, it can take 24 months. It doesn't. Just be patient with yourself and the experience and trust the process. And like I say, the darkness within you, the shadow self, doesn't mean bad. It doesn't mean you are bad. It doesn't mean your life is bad. It's simply the negative polarity of the universe, the negative that you have to experience in order to also experience the positive. And I highly recommend, whilst on your shadow work journey, while going through maybe a dark night of the soul, experiencing any level of darkness in your life, to create yourself a sacred container to go through it. What do I mean by sacred container? Be aware of what you're going through. Be aware that you're doing your shadow work, so you're going to face some kind of resistance and challenge. Being aware that you need to be tender with yourself going into your dark night of the soul. There's a really beautiful book I read called Wintering that really talks about this and how different cultures have prepared for winter. So it's like, when you feel it coming on, acknowledge it and accept it. And in that, you're then beginning to create this sacred container for you to retreat, for you to go inward, for you to hold space for yourself to transform everything that is being asked to transform in this period of your life. It isn't going to last forever. I would create yourself a devoted, dedicated meditation practice, time for contemplation, to be silent, to go within, journaling, a lot of time for rest and recovery, walks in nature. just intimacy with loved ones, just holding yourself in the love that you need to go through this, because where the love is, there is light. And if you try to resist your own shadow, if you try to resist the dark night of the soul, it's going to amplify. So it's going to get louder and louder and louder until you listen, until you start to say, okay, I am here. I am experiencing this in my external reality, so I am going to go internally and sit with it and face it and work through it and love it and love and accept myself fully and completely for whatever I am going through. Because what we resist persists. The more you resist that repressed anger, the more you resist this fear that's controlling your life and don't address it and don't take action, the more experiences you're going to keep on attracting that will ask you to experience it. The more you resist it, the more suffering you're going to go through. And trusting that everything's happening in divine timing, trusting the process, knowing that you just being present with what you're going through is part of the transformation. It's part of this sacred journey of facing the dark night of the soul, of doing your shadow work, of navigating the darkness. When it has been fully felt and the divine timing, and in divine timing it's over, you will know, because there will be space where there was once contraction. There will be a little fire lit in your stomach. There will feel like a light is shining from your heart, and this light is this glimmer of light radiating outwards is your soul freeing up space where there was once this darkness, and you step a little closer towards the light, towards your wholeness, and you will know that you've been through a profound and transformational process. You will have a knowing that, okay, there's some freedom in here now. There's some free space. I can begin to create again. My winter is over. I'm now in spring and summer is just around the corner. You will know intuitively when it's coming. If you're able to be present with all of your darkness, you will know when spring comes, when summer comes, because you will feel it internally. Your energy will be more alive. You will be motivated to go and create. New inspiration will come in, new opportunities will open up, and you'll notice that the patterns that you were resisting, that you faced in this dark night of the soul, in this shadow work, you will notice that they have changed and you've broken the pattern, and you're able, and then look at that free space there, you're able to create something new. So this is the kind of goal when we're navigating the darkness, is to fully be with it and allow it to happen in its own time, doing the things that are going to support you, meditating, journaling, working with a coach, doing like sacred practices for yourself, making this experience sacred however you want to make it sacred, and knowing that you're on a journey will then transmute. The light will shine from within and your life will get brighter again. So stick with the process, stick with the journey. Yes, there can be some pain in there, but if we try not to label it as pain and just be with it as it is, there will be much less suffering. So be with the process. If you have any questions, please just leave a comment or get in touch with me and I will answer you and help guide you through this dark period. Everybody has them, and know that glimmer of light from your soul is guiding you. You're always being guided by the light when you're being present with everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope this has helped you in some way. I am hosting a 7-day challenge to help you get to know and love thyself on a deeper level. That's what navigating the darkness is partially about. Knowing yourself on a deeper level. And as you get to know yourself, you get to experience the beauty and the magic that life has. And we really begin to fall in love with life again. So within this 7-day challenge, there are going to be live calls with me. There are profound meditation and journaling exercises. You get to join my Lotus community for one evening, and I guide you through this idea of aligning your energy, creating a soul-aligned life, understanding the shadow, understanding how your subconscious mind is talking to you, and how you can use your energy to create, to manifest this life that you are ready to fall in love with. It's going to be a really beautiful challenge, a really beautiful journey, and I would love to see you there. It's totally free and it's 7 days. So you can sign up for that through the link in the description. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all of my latest content and give it some love. Have a beautiful day.